TED.com is something that I've been very interested in for a long time, but I've only really begun to use it, and I would say like the past year, the past 2 semesters that I've been teaching at university. Um, this was recommended to me by a colleague of mine, and I saw him explain exactly how an ESL student could watch these videos and repeat them, through repeated listenings, essentially, start to understand it, even in one lesson. So I started to use them in my classes. My students loved it. Um, so obviously the intended audience is my students, but I mean I find the content of the videos themselves is interesting to me as well. I have learned from them myself. So I think that the ISTE standards here that best apply are the ISTE2 Leader 2C. You can model for your colleagues exactly the benefits and how to use them and how to adopt this kind of tool into and integrate it into their lesson. And then I've tried to show my ESL students how to use the website themselves, because I feel that they only have my class for a limited amount of time. They would benefit from knowing how to use it and how to search and exactly how to wade through the thousands of videos that they have. And ISTE 5 Designer 5B. These videos provide an authentic learning experience for my students, which is just so rare for them. The textbooks that they use are just robotic, rote learning kind of experiences for them. And this is a way that they get very engaged through a digital resource. It's very great. So let's take a look at the actual website here. I'm sure that you have been on this website before in some form or capacity, but let's look a bit at it. I don't have an account. You don't need to make an account with them or anything. It's free, obviously. So I'll click the watch button. I'll browse through the TED Talks here if my internet will go. Okay. Pardon the slow internet. I'm in China and everything is just blocked. So sometimes I will just browse through what's new, but the newest videos typically they don't have a lot of subtitles on them, which I think are necessary for ESL learners. They can listen to the English, they can hear it, but they need to be able to understand the content. So the subtitles, you need to choose it for the target, their language. Let's see. A video that I like to do. Let's see. Learning language. Let's just see what that comes up with. So there's lots of videos here about language. You can click on any of them. Let's see, learn to read Chinese with ease. So let's click on that. Okay, so you can see here, it's pretty popular. You can see it says transcript right there. I usually click on this, and here you have a English transcript with timestamps, which I find very useful for my students. I usually will copy this into a Word document, pull out a few words, have them do listening exercises where they have to write in the phrase, maybe a few words in the sentence or specific vocabulary that I've picked out for them. Of course, upon initial viewing, where I just want them to watch, pay attention to the content, you can go through the list of transcripts here, and you can find all kinds of ones. This one's Korean. This is traditional Chinese. So you can click that, and then it's got traditional Chinese, which is fantastic. I teach business English, so I've actually used a few business videos from TED that are related to China, and the students just love it. They find it very, very interesting. I prefer, because this sometimes it's blocked. Sometimes TED is blocked. Sometimes it just doesn't work with Chinese internet. So at home, before, when I'm lesson planning, I will download the video myself. So you go to share, and then it allows you to download the video, and whatever subtitles you choose. So let's say if you wanted to read English subtitles with it, you would click on English. You can, of course, go to more languages here and browse through all the different languages this specific video has. Of course, I need simplified Chinese. Okay, and then once you go to download it, it downloads it with the subtitles hard-coded into the video. So you have a copy of that, which is very, very helpful. And there's just 1,000 different videos about 1,000 different inspiring topics, interesting, engaging things that I think students can gain a lot from.